All right, and we are back in the lobby bar for the week of September the 11th, 2023. Brian and Michaela here with you, as always. And Michaela, I made my way out to Colorado, saw a bit of a concert, looked at some very old rock, had a good time. I had a lot of good drinks. But how have you been? How was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good. We started the baseball season for my kiddo and as well as the football
Mm,
season. And I mean the real football, not the American hand egg thing. Um, so that was good. That took a whole day, which meant the whole evenings were me playing around with new drinks. I found this really amazing liqueur I wanted to talk about, and I made
mm,
a cocktail margarita with it. So that was fun. And then I really got
excellent.
into old, just watching old shows, sitting down in front of a fake fireplace. It's finally starting to get cool. We had a torrential rainstorm in the middle of the night on Saturday, and it just
Oh
kind of
yeah.
made a bleary, weary day for Sunday. Not nearly as exciting as yours, I don't think.
That's true. Yeah. So, as I mentioned, I had made my way out to Colorado. You were kind enough to watch after our pup while I was gone. So, I appreciate that. I'm glad that you found some time to have a cocktail there while you're doing all of your dog sitting for me. Definitely appreciate that because I was up to a lot of good stuff myself out in Colorado. So, we went out to see a concert. I mentioned it last week on the lobby bar. My wife and I went out to see Brandi Carlile at the one and only Red Rocks there in, is it Morrison, Colorado. So, that was quite the adventure. But before we made our way to the concert, had to go and check out a few local spots to get some cocktails going. I went to a couple of breweries. If you've ever been to Denver, breweries are the jam there. It's one of the renowned beer towns of the United States. So go check that out. We went to a couple of breweries I'd never been to. I went to Novel Strand. I had an alt beer there, which was really nice. I went to
Mm.
another place called Ratio Beer Works. This might be up your alley, Michaela. I had a flight there, but one of the beers was a carrot elderflower saison, which is like a farmhouse ale. It was real
Oh,
orange looking. Take a look at the if you're on our Discord, I'm going to get some pictures posted there. But that was pretty wild, interesting flavor. I like that. It was refreshing. It was nice and kind of springy feeling. I don't know. I like that quite a bit.
yeah, that sounds amazing and
Yeah.
quite orange.
Very orange for sure. We went to a couple of spots for some food and some cocktails. We went to a place called a Three Saints Revival, and I had a cocktail called the Ottoman Emperor, which was a little riff on an old fashioned. It was some bourbon, some Gifford's Banana de Brazil, and Gifford's I think is going to be a key ingredient in your cocktail coming up. Some date syrup and cherry bark bitters. That was delicious. They had a fun mocktail too called the 24 karat gold I had, which was really nice. It was carrot ginger juice, cinnamon syrup, blood orange juice, and some nutmeg. That was really nice.
Oh my
I felt
gosh.
I felt like it was it's kind of like a cleanse juice, but it was really delicious. I liked that one quite a bit. And then my favorite cocktail I had there was at this place called Rioja, which was really excellent. I was talking to the bartender. He showed me the infusion that he'd made for it. It was this really kind of fun, clean, refreshing take on a martini. I think you might be into this one, Michaela. So it was dill infused Tito's vodka, dry gin, dry vermouth, and a Charo liquor, which I'm not 100% sure what that is. It just kind of plays really nicely. It's kind of like this lemony essence there. I've not ever had it before, but I had it here. And the way that lemony essence paired with this dill, it was really nice. When you hear dill, you think of like a pickle, but it wasn't like pickly. It was just that nice kind of like very light dill you get. I don't know, like on I don't know, things you put dill on, right? Like you a little sprig of dill on your fish or your
Yeah,
potatoes,
yeah.
something like that. Just a hint of it. It was really light and really lovely because it was still pretty hot out in Colorado while we were there. So I had that after a long walk. That was delicious and refreshing. And who doesn't love a martini early in the day?
That's right. Well, Charo is actually an aloe liqueur.
Okay.
Which if it's the same charo that I think you're talking about, it's very cool. It's crafted in small batches for a perfectly balanced and refreshing taste, according to their website. So
Excellent.
now I have to go remake this drink because that sounds delicious,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
very good for like a nice balance. The weather is kind of changing right now,
Hmm.
and I found some really amazing rhubarb liqueur. Rhubarb is not something that you really do in the fall as it's becoming fall. It's more of a spring, summery kind of thing. But what my family used to do, because we grew rhubarb up in Montana, is we would
Mm-hmm.
freeze that sucker and then we'd
Ah,
bring it out when it was just turning cooler, just kind of like about now. And so when I saw it in the liquor store, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make something with this. And I was gonna do a drink. I was going to do something that was like a maybe a just a dry martini. But then I thought about my husband because I should be doing that more often. And I thought husband likes margaritas.
ah.
And so I made up a rhubarb margarita. And I have to say, I think it really hit the spot.
Okay, that sounds delicious. You posted the picture of this on our Instagram, on our stories there. And I saw it, I was in my travels, but I was checking in. I saw that and I said, that sounds like a really interesting flavor. I know rhubarb as well. My grandparents had a little rhubarb plant kind of in their yard there. I don't know. Rhubarb is like I don't know, like it's like this pink celery looking thing. I've always been very scared of it because if you eat it too early, it is apparently poisonous. I don't know for sure. Rhubarb, it scares the living daylights out of me, but I do love myself some rhubarb pie. So I'm very interested in this rhubarb uh, liqueur that you found because, again, it's from Giffords. Like I just had mentioned
Mm-hmm.
that other one. Giffords is the creme de la creme of making fruit flavored liqueurs. And luckily, your local liquor store has a good selection of them. I think they're pretty widely distributed. So just check around your shop, ask if they can order something in because they have a bunch of really weird and wild flavors. And they're going
Yeah.
to do awesome things like jazz up your margarita.
Yeah. And the thing about rhubarb, it's usually paired with things like strawberry or something like that because rhubarb in and of itself is quite tart. It can be. And so you want to be careful. I played around with this. I might have made more than one. Maybe I made 10. I don't know. I made a
It was
lot
for
this weekend.
science. It was for
It
science.
was. I was doing a scientific experiment of mixology and I think I perfected it. So here's what I did. I took 2 ounces of our favorite tequila. I would pick something that's like a silver tequila. Do not do something smoky and mezcal. That's gonna interrupt the flavor. Don't do that. Just get a regular white silver tequila. 2 ounces of that. I would do an ounce of the rhubarb liqueur, and then depending on how sweet you like it or want it, half an ounce up to an ounce of simple syrup. Now, if you wanted to jazz this up a bit, you could do a ginger simple syrup. I had some on hand because we had made a cocktail with ginger simple syrup a couple weeks ago. So that's what I used. And that
Mhm.
really was like this. It really made like this spicy, tart, sweet concoction that was amazing. But if you have regular simple syrup, I was making drinks for a friend and I used regular simple syrup on that one, and that one was great too. So that's what the ingredients is. What I would also do is I would shake it to kind of take the edge off some of the tequila. If you're not really a tequila person, I think you should still give this a try. But I would shake it and then pour it all with rocks and all into a glass
Mm.
that's chilled to drink it because it's better that way.
Yeah, it gets a little bit of that ice melt. It's going to help
Yeah.
the flavors kind of marry up there together. But yeah, that sounded delicious. It looked really refreshing. It looked perfect on a nice summer day to sip and enjoy. And yeah, play around with those flavors in the margarita. You can swap out that ounce of the rhubarb for basically any kind of liqueur that you want. And like we said, Giffords is one that we've been real high on here lately. So definitely give that a try. It looked delicious. I expect to get one next time I'm over in your neck of the woods, Michaela. That sounds great to me. But if the next time you're in the neck of the woods of Denver, Colorado, make your way out to Red Rocks because it was amazing. My wife and I went and saw Brandi Carlile. She is a big fan of Brandi Carlile. I really like Brandi Carlile, so it kind of made sense when we decided to make this journey out there to see because the opener for Brandi Carlile on the particular night we went was an artist by the name of Joy Olatakun. I don't know if you're familiar with Joy's work, Michaela. She is incredible, very, very talented, this great singer-songwriter. Thing going on. She has a song called If You Got a Problem. I don't know if you've ever listened to it, Michaela. I suggest that you listen to it. I think it would be right up your alley, and a lot of her music would definitely be right up your alley. She came out and sang with Brandi Carlile, who puts on a heck of a show because she's brilliant. She told a whole story about Joni Mitchell, way back
Of
to
course she did.
Harkins. I think Brandi Carlile was probably listening to Drink the Music and said, "Oh yeah, Joni Mitchell. I remember her." Not I cannot confirm whether Brandi was doing that or not. But yeah, told a whole story about Joni Mitchell. You would have loved it. The venue is incredible. It's a little inconvenient to be honest. It is literally halfway up a mountain. There's 10,000 people there, so the ins and outs of the venue are a little tricky, but it sounds great and it's a pretty magical place, I will say.
Yeah. No, I have to tell you, I was so jealous when you said that you were going. Um, I am a huge fan of Brandi Carlile. She feeds my soul very, very similarly, I think, to Joni Mitchell. I think she is now kind of one of the big artists that people know of that is singing about singing Joni Mitchell's name from the rocks, from the high mountaintops. So
Mm-hmm.
I was really that made me really happy. I saw some of the shots that you took while you guys were there. It just looks like an amazing place. So I'm very jealous. But yeah, no, I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really good time. Really a fun concert to see and really cool venue to see in it. So excited to do that. So like I said, listen to Joy Olatakun out there if you've not. She's fantastic. She's actually going to be here in our neck of the woods in about 10 days. Michaela, I don't know if we're going to journey back out to see her again or not. We're still trying to work out the logistics of that. So check that out and check out our episode from last week. We covered the Beatles' Love soundtrack from the Cirque du Soleil show. It was an epic time going through all of those tracks there on Beatles Love. And this week we've got the hit debut album from the Killers, Hot Fuss. We're going to be talking about going back to 2004. Those were like our college days, Michaela. I don't know if Hot Fuss hits the same way as it did when we were, I don't know, 23 years old, but we're going to find out this coming Thursday. So make sure you are subscribed to the podcast and you'll get notified when that comes out. You'll see what we think. We have a really cool cocktail coming for that. And, if you want to make sure you're keeping up with what albums we've got coming next, the best way to do that is on our Patreon, patreon.com/drink the movies. That's where we have the votes for our album. We get those put up pretty much on like Mondays, and they vote to get to pick between a couple of albums. And then we pick one, make a cocktail, listen to it, and chat about it on our regular episodes. Thank you very much to our patrons out there. Michaela, are you excited to talk about the Killers?
I am very excited to talk about the Killers uh, because I remember more than two of their songs. So that's good. That is one good thing.
Wow.
I feel like the vote also was really tough this week. I mean, I feel like we do pretty good
I've been pretty cruel in
pairing.
the votes. I've been pretty
Yeah,
cruel in the votes, I will say.
yeah, because you're. I mean, they're both. I mean, all of the music that we have had to pick from is good. There has been zero like, well, this is easy because that album sucked, right? Like it's been really hard. I don't know. We've gotten a lot of requests for that to continue. So if you do want to be part of the actual voting, you got to join us on our Patreon site for that. So
Yeah, absolutely. So, stay tuned. We're going to have that episode coming out later this week, just as usual. And I don't know. For now, Michaela, what I need to do is I need to go and do a bunch of laundry because we just got home from a trip. So I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to try to recreate this rhubarb margarita. That sounds pretty delicious. You have to get packed up yourself because you're headed out of town. So we're going to have to check in on you from the road here over the next couple of weeks for our lobby bars. So we're going to do that, and we'll talk to everyone next time.